Hello and welcome to another episode of the CUFI Weekly. And sadly, yet unsurprisingly for anybody whose primary news source isn't internet memes or the Hamas health ministry, Hamas once again rejected another ceasefire proposal which was brought to them by Egyptian mediators. Now, the initial conversation had been around Hamas possibly releasing 9 to 10 hostages initially, and then as the ceasefire took effect, they would release more. Now, the reason that Hamas walked away from these negotiations without any agreement, and what they said was their red line, was the Israeli request for them to disarm. Now, not an unreasonable request at all, given that not just October 7th, for decades Hamas has launched terror attack after terror attack on Israel and its civilians. From suicide bombings to stabbings to the rocket attacks to the absolute atrocity of October 7th. Yet Hamas refused and said that this was a red line, that disarmament is completely out of the question. Now, I'm sure that the droves of Hamas apologists that walk our streets in the United States and elsewhere in the West will make their argument that this is resistance. Since when has kidnap and rape been resistance? When has murdering innocent people been resistance? If there was a group going around that they wanted to do this to any other group, wipe them out, murder them, be it African Americans, be it Asians, be it anybody, the world would be outraged. But when it comes to Jews, people will gather in the streets to support it, to justify it, to then victim blame Israel for defending itself. Israel wants to bring its people home. Over 500 days in captivity in Gaza, Israel wants them home, and it wants to deal with a situation in Gaza where it never has to fear terrorism and violence. It doesn't have to deal with another 10/7. And remember, it was Israel who withdrew from Gaza in the hope of peace. They willingly gave it up. And that's what Israel's demand is. Yet Hamas are willing to prolong this war. They will continue to keep hostages. They will continue to allow people in Gaza to suffer, to live in a war zone, so they can continue their war against Israel and the Jews. And that's ultimately what this comes down to. You have one side who want to live in peace, who want to prosper, who want to build a future, who choose life, and another side that chooses death. And that's the side so many people in the West are being apologists for. Right now in the United States, we have people supporting Hamas and its allies. As Passover reminds us that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has always saved his people. That his mighty hand that guided them out of Egypt, that guided them back to the land of Israel, that saw Israel thrive in impossible circumstances, that God still lives. And I ask every single one of you, make a choice. What side of history do you want to stand on? Not just silently comply, but stand up and speak out. And in Washington, D.C., you have that opportunity at the CUFI Summit. The 20th CUFI Summit. It is a historical moment for the CUFI. It is a historical moment in the Middle East and for Israel. And you can stand for what is right and righteous. So I invite everyone to be there, so we can make sure that when we look back in history, we can say that we were there when it mattered. We stood up for what was right and just. We stood up for Israel. This is Kasim Hafeez for the CUFI Weekly. For Zion's sake, do not remain silent. Thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get a notification every time a new episode hits. And if you want to check out some of our previous episodes, and we've got some really good ones, click on one of the thumbnails and that will take you right there. And finally, if you want to know more about CUFI and the work we do, go to CUFI.org to check out all the resources we have available free to you.